Hello and welcome to the MyClayCo studio. I am Tegan and today we are going to be looking at the Polymer Clay Terrazzo technique. Now the Terrazzo technique is one of the first techniques I attempted when I started polymer clay, and today it is still one of my favorites. It is a great technique for beginners, but I also see a lot of professional polymer clay artists using this technique because it is such a gorgeous classic one. Now you won't need much to do this technique. I've got a few different clay colors here. I've also got my roller, I have a tissue blade, and of course my gloss tile that I'm going to be working on today. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret about this gorgeous color here. I found some white clay in our scraps containers, and let's just say it wasn't in the best condition and looked like it had potentially been dropped on the floor. So I decided to embrace the impurities, and I actually added a bit of granite clay to the white so we could get this beautiful speckled effect. What I went with was approximately 6 parts igloo mixed with 1 part of some Cernic granite that we also had in our scraps containers, and it produced this beautiful color backdrop that we're going to be using here. I'm also going to be using a few other colors that I found in our scraps container. Now one of them is Sculpey Bluestone, but the rest of them are a little bit unknown and appear to be just a mixture of other colors. So it's going to be really nice to see how they turn out. So I'm going to be showing you 2 different terrazzo styles today. The first one is going to be more of a traditional terrazzo that really gives you that nice classic look. And the second one is going to be a bit more of an organic look that you can really add some color to and make a little bit fun. When I was looking for inspiration for my color palette, I actually just jumped on Google and I searched terrazzo tile, and I found some really nice ideas for some color palettes that I can use, and I have decided to go with this more gray inspired theme. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into some terrazzo making. Okay, so I have my gorgeous background color clay here, and what I am going to do, I'm just going to chop this in half because, as I mentioned before, we are going to be doing 2 styles of the terrazzo technique. So you just chop that in half, and we will pop one over here and one over here, all ready to go. Now, so for the first one, I'm going for this gorgeous grayish blue kind of color palette, as I mentioned before, and we're going to start off doing more of a traditional terrazzo technique. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my clay that I've got here, and basically I'm just going to chop it all different ways. So basically we want to come up with a heap of different nice geometric shapes for us to use. And I will head on over here to this light grey clay, which looks like souffle concrete. It may be. As I mentioned, this has all come out of our scrap straw, so let's chop this one up and then we can finish with the bluestone. That is all done. So we're going to start on this side here so that we can do our traditional terrazzo. And all I'm going to do is I am just going to pop these pieces that we've cut onto our slab here. So, and we're just going to pop them all over the place so we get this gorgeous kind of terrazzo effect. And you can see how it adds to the effect if they're all different shapes and sizes. So when I did this, I rolled my pasta machine for my base color on number 1 on the atlas. And then I've just rolled these sheets, I believe it was on number 3. Okay, next up we have our gorgeous light grey colour that we suspect is concrete. And if you do find that some of the pieces aren't quite the shape and size that you'd like, you can of course trim them up. Okay, and onto our bluestone. Now you can change this up however you like. You might want to do them spaced further apart. You might want to do bigger pieces. It's completely up to you and the style that you're after. And I'm just going to grab my needle tool so that I can pop these pieces on a little more precisely. So you can see now I'm starting to go through that process of filling in the little gaps that I've got here. So don't be afraid to go back. If you think, so here, I think maybe it might be nice to have a bit of concrete in here. So I'm going to jump back to my concrete and I'm going to pop that in here. And up here, I think we need a little bit of that darker grey colour. And here, I'm thinking a bit of blue. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how this has ended up now. And if you can see here, those pieces are just slightly raised on there. And what we want to do now is we want to actually roll them down so that they are the same thickness. So I'm just going to get all of these pieces off. Okay, and we are ready for the next step. So I am now just going to pop, I've got some depth guides here. If you don't have depth guides, that is fine. You can just do it by sight, or you might have a roller that has the depth guides on there. But I'm just doing this so I can get a nice even thickness. And you will see here that I have this sheet of paper, which is actually baking paper. And again, if you don't have this, it's not the end of the world. I just find it a lot easier to do this process because you'll find as you roll your roller across, you won't have little pieces of the terrazzo sticking up and ruining your perfect design that you've got there. So all that I'm going to do is just roll this down so we can get all of the pieces on here. And then we'll just keep rolling until we get to that 2mm thickness of the guides. Beautiful, and we will just peel this up. And you can see we have this gorgeous terrazzo effect here. Okay, so I promised you a second style of terrazzo, so we are now going to go ahead and we're going to give the organic terrazzo a go. Now, we are going to go the same kind of color palette that we did for the first one, but I am going to add the addition of this beautiful pink color that, again, I found in our scraps containers. I just thought it might add another little pop of color and just give you some ideas on, you know, how you can just add different colors in to give you different looks. So what we're going to do with the organic terrazzo is we're actually going to tear these pieces up. And then just place them on. But with the organic style, you are going to get a bit more of that organic edge, so it's not going to be as sharp as the edges that we've got in here. I'm really excited to have this addition of the pink in here. I think it's going to look really cute. I'm going to do these a little bit smaller as well, just so you can see these are quite large pieces, and if I do these just a bit smaller, you'll also be able to see the effect that that has on our slab here. Now, as you can see here, I'm just in that final stage of just filling in all of our little gaps that we've got. So we are almost there. And I think it is looking very cute. One of the other very cute things that you can do with this technique is you can actually use it for animal spots. So, or cow splodges. Okay, I think we are all done there. We're just going to get all of these pieces off of here. And we're going to do that same process again, where we're just going to pop our depth guides here. I'm just, again, going to grab our baking paper and pop it over the top here and roll. Oh wow, that is seriously cute. Okay, so we'll just get these out the way and I'll just give you a little look-see at this one here. Looks fantastic, and you can see how they are just a little bit different. So this one does have the sharper edges, this one has more of those rough organic edges, and you can also see where we've done smaller pieces and larger pieces, and I have seen them done even smaller than this, and they also look great. So we have our gorgeous terrazzo slabs all finished, and I am going to go pick out a couple of cutters to use with them. So I've baked and assembled our earrings and I am so happy with how they've turned out. I would love to hear in the comments, what do you think? And do you prefer the traditional terrazzo look, or did you like the more organic style? If you have enjoyed our video tutorial today, we would love you to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.